G'day and hello beautiful people, it is Mimo here. Hope you're having a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, night, no matter the time wherever you are. Hope life is treating you well. It's time for some more Road to Survival story missions. That's right. So October 2016 was when Hilltop Chapter 23 was introduced. So well over 2 years later, we've got Chapter 24 Alexandria ready to go. So it's taken them about 2 years to get to DC. 2 years, that's a solid walk, I must say. Now you get a couple of decent 4-star weapons, which may intrigue you. You know, that blade you can definitely do a lot with. So what I'm going to do in regards to how I'm going to play out this chapter is I'm going to do it stage by stage and really talk you through every aspect and every nitty gritty little detail there is. Now I'm going to look at this at a much more traditional perspective in regards to Road to Survival. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to worry too much about all these big fancy new attributes that you're getting with your 6 stars and your mod weapons and so forth. I'm going to try and look at it at a more traditional means. But for this video, what I thought I would try and emphasize is just the power and the finesse of the 6 stars. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just going for an autofield team. Now, all my teams here are like 6+ months I created all these teams, but I'm just going for a big, fully 6-star autofield team that has real no mindset to it. There's really no thought put into this team. I press the autofield button and that's what's come up. Now, would I ever construct this team and think it's... No, I wouldn't construct this team. There are a few problems with this team, but really what I'm trying to emphasize at this stage, with this first stage, is the resilient nature and just the damage that 6 stars can inflict. I want you to see the pure power of these guys and how easy you're going to fly through Chapter 24 if you just use them. And if that's your goal, go ahead, make up your 6-star team. Construct it the way you want. Put your healers in there. Put your attack bonuses. Put your defense bonuses in there. And just make a beefy 6-star team. And you will fast forward through these stages really, really quickly and get through them. Now, me personally, right now, I'm not going to fast forward. I'm going to go through it bit by bit. And I'm going to talk you through the issues not only with this team, but also just the power of the 6-star. Now, like I said, I'm going to look at this at a much more traditional... or in a much more traditional means, I should say. It's been over 6 months since I've played this game, so I'm sort of set back into the old mindset of Road to Survival and a much more traditional way of setting up a team and getting through these stages. And what I mean by that is I'm not huge into these mods in regards to, as you can see, I have a few flame mods on here. I have a few mods on my weapons and my characters, but I'm not really hugely invested into those mods. The specialist skills, your active skills of your 6 stars, you know, I'm going to try and use 5 stars, your epics, and also your ultra rares a lot in these stages, and sort of limit the 6 stars. I'm going to try and challenge my teams and use the inventory not only to get through, but also the rushes rather than the active skills and the specialist skills which you get in your 6 stars. So like I said, a much more traditional perspective. Now, as you can see here with this team, it's pretty bad. Like I said, it's an autofill. Maggie is my only healer with her active skill. I have no dedicated healer. I have no dedicated reviver. Most of my specialist skills only kick in if someone dies, which I'm not expecting to happen. But as you can see, just by hitting, the only thing I'm doing right here is I'm trying to target the alerts. The reason for that is it is the dominant trait over my greens. I have greens, so I have to target the alerts because they're going to hurt me. So that's the only thing I'm doing as a player right here. Most of the other things, and I'm activating their rushes and so forth, but pretty much all the toons right now are doing the work. The 6 stars, the power of the 6 stars are doing all the work here. I'll use Maggie's active skill when needed just to give her that little bit of heal and someone else that little bit of heal. But like I said, no dedicated healer, no dedicated reviver, no dedicated player with increases or bonuses to attack or defense. I've got a bit of crit action happening there. Few mods on my weapons, mainly stun, so it's more crafted mods with your stun. And then I have a few of the character mods where you got something like your fire and your lifesteal, but Nothing too fancy in that regard. Pain split running in there. Nothing really, really fancy. Which is what you get with the 6 stars. You get all these fancy things, and you get all these character mods. You get all these weapon mods, and it's really an active skill, special skill. So it's a more fancy way. It's the new way of doing things. I'm going to be a bit more traditional and focus on other things rather than the big abilities of these 6 stars. What I really wanted to emphasize in this video is just the resilience of your 6 stars and the amount of damage they inflict. And as you can see in chapter 24, you're going to breeze through it. If you have 6 stars and want to go OP, you're breezing through this quite easily. But let's move on back to this team. I got a bit sidetracked. All I do is talk. So I've got nothing really dedicated. There's no thought process in this team. It is autofill. Like, I've got Wyatt giving a bit of shield to him and Shiva there, which is beefing them up. The only real two taking the damage at the moment seems to be Maggie and Beta, but you know, it's one of those things. I've got that active skill just to keep them up to date. As you can see, we'll heal them here right now. So it's just going to keep them a bit fresh. I'm not using my inventory, so I'm not using anything like your first aid kits, any of your grenades, your smelling salts or anything like that. And that's another aspect I will talk about in later stages, is I'm going to really drain the power of my team and rely more on my inventory and show you how important your inventory can be and how it can close that gap. So if you don't have a very strong team, like, you can't just, right now I could be fast forwarding through this honestly, and the machine would be doing its own thing. But if you can't do that and you're really struggling even with manually inputting your team, then your inventory is going to make up for that power gap. And I will emphasize that later in the video. Like I said, I'm going to use multiple teams. This is pretty much going to be the last time you see 6 stars just overpowering the stage. I'm going to construct my teams a lot more smartly. I'm not just going to autofill, and I'm going to show you, if you don't have these big beefy 6 stars, how to get through this chapter 24. But as always, I hope you did enjoy. Thank you for watching. Always remember how awesome you are. Bye!
Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadow.